Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Trine. Let's continue. So I've been giving some thought to the length of these episodes. Inherently, as a YouTuber, you're constantly getting the message that people who watch YouTube want to watch 30-minute, 10, 15-minute videos. They don't want to go for longer experiences, which is fair enough. It's not the experience I go through. Certainly, like I often am watching or listening to things that, that are fairly long. But, like, I'm not unsympathetic to people who have shorter attention spans. But video games really just do not work from that concept. Like, it just does not. Well, I think I've just put myself in a weird position where, well, thank goodness that was breakable. So yeah, I'm also in a weird position, certainly for this game, in that there's really not a lot to say. It's hard to be particularly critical of a game that is just going to give you the standard fare, as it were. Like, I'm not particularly being surprised by any of the actions or any of the puzzles that we're running into. Would this guy have been able to break this wall? Nope. So yeah, there's... Oops. I guess we'll just swing our way around here to get to that. Like, I'm still enjoying the platforming, fine. But I'm also not running into anything different. The game kind of has failed to show us that we had inventory items and could actually use them. Or it's kind of failed to tell us that you have multiple upgrade points every time you collect 50 bits of experience. So that you get through the game a lot quicker than it would seem you should. This is weird. Like, you can't grab that shelf, so what activates those shelves? I mean, does it really matter? Not really. Because at the end of the day, it's like, oh, I guess you're supposed to go all the way over here to activate those platforms. Did I really need to do that? No. Like, I have more than enough ability to build things where I could have easily just made a platform. Which really does make the wizard guy, he is the character that is useless in a fight. He has no offensive abilities. But he's decent in avoiding platforming if you are really terrible at platforming. But then the thief is great at platforming and a decent fight. And then this guy the soldier is terrible at platforming but very good in a fight and has pretty much the only defense, because when I'm firing here, if somebody's shooting at me, all I can do is jump out of the way, and if I'm trying to have defense here, there's literally nothing I can do. In a weird way, though, you are effectively trying to serve 3 different masters. It can't be done with the game already. And that does put you in this weird position where scales of fish, let's see what that is. Allows unlimited time underwater. Interesting. So they've just like undone the time requirement underwater, which was frankly there for no good reason. We never ran into a scenario where being underwater was a huge burden. Right. Let's ask a question here. Can this guy, if he makes a cube, does that float? No, it sinks. But there is some that do float. So yeah. But apparently me pushing it or floating it only gets it so far to the right because I can't float things further in that direction. Is this more level? Interesting. Well, so only the thief now has the scales of the fish, which I could certainly see an idea of giving that to a different character. Like giving it to the mage would probably be a decent way to go. They are making it also very, very obvious when they want to make sure you have an ability. And very, very obvious that they want you to have at least a minimal amount of unlocks and abilities by the time you played the game the first time. But I don't feel like you are really going to have a great experience if you tried to play this like a second time on a higher difficulty. Like, there is an achievement for that, but then there's also some weird achievements that still I don't feel like really justify. Still feel like the thief is still a better jumper than most. Right. This is all timed, so there's literally only certain ways, certain one of these platforms that you can actually land on in certain loops. I want to be fairly careful to collect everything and look all around. There's already 2 levels in which I haven't collected everything. Music's a little repetitive at this point too. Yeah, this is one of those games too where maybe it would be better if you take a small break between each level, but that's certainly something as a YouTuber I just can never really commit the time to doing that. And frankly, that would probably work fairly well with this game because I don't think you would forget the abilities of the characters, and it would be very easy to come back here and just hit the back button and see the abilities of the YouTubers again. No, the abilities of the characters. Man, I'm getting distracted here. So when you have another skill, can anything be upgraded with 2? Fast quiver. Sure. Instant charge. So I guess it probably is only prompting... I'm picking up all these mana potions, but they're not adding to my mana count. Or they're doing an incredibly small amount of increase to my mana count. I wonder if the idea here is to have these guys come back and attack you from behind, or what? Like, I don't know. Is that just gonna infinitely spawn? Nope. Let's keep on going, I guess. This almost feels like this is a reference to Donkey Kong, the arcade game, going down these ladders, and yeah, it feels like they were somewhat falling out of ideas and running out of ideas. Which is weird because I think the company that made this game really did just go on to make more Trine games and nothing else, although in all fairness, had Trine not been a success, I imagine they would have just moved on to another project, and they probably didn't expect there to be any level of like major success on Trine. Alright. I wonder what happens if I put one there. It falls. Darn it. It still can only make 3 flat places. Which does call for a level of caution. I don't think it's long enough. Right, can we do something like that? Yeah, this is the easiest way to do this. Just simply gain some momentum, swing, and jump back this way to collect it than it is to actually try and solve the puzzle the way it was intended to be solved. I think that does highlight an issue with this game, certainly, is that you do open yourself up quite a bit to the possibility of no one single player actually solving any of the puzzles the way they're intended to be solved. Right. Oh, you gotta jump up there. It's like interesting, we are shown the item, but we could have missed it, and so we would have had to go back. What does the Necklace of Power do? Increases damage for weapons that use mana. Well, which weapons use mana? Well, certainly it's not the wizard at the moment. Does the sword use mana? The only weapon I think that actually uses mana at the moment is probably the flame arrows. So let's switch to fire bow. Fire, yes. That does use mana. Is there anything more to see or do over here? Nope. Don't think so. So often we're ending up having to go through the level 2 different ways to find all the collectibles. And I guess maybe the idea there would be that for some people they would do that in multiple playthroughs. Right. So can we do the limbing thing and put a area on an area? I guess not. I didn't think my guy could break things either. There we go. Come on. Twist. We'll move this guy over here. Make a longer platform. Still not long enough. Well, I think they're actually going to make me figure out how to use this technology. It's not the best program thing ever. Like, we have to be honest there. It's like, I see what they were thinking of being able to create something, and that is crazy. Like, when this game came out, I imagine that would have been incredibly groundbreaking. But I think also you have to be realistic too, and realize by modern standards, spawning something with physics on it is not even something that an average gamer would bat an eye on. So this is one of those things where I think programmers would be very impressed, and people playing this the day it came out might be very impressed if they realize what they're seeing. But I also wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people didn't realize what they were seeing and or didn't care. Okay. Okay. And then run to get there. Just making a tower and then running with it. Off to the next thing. How many things do we have left? 2 more XPs and 3 more skeletons. So we're probably on the edge. There we have a rainbow. Every level seems to kind of end with you just finding something in the background and that's it, and that's fairly boring. I guess that's just an infinite death location. Let's see. Make sure there's nothing up here. This almost comes off feeling like a section of map that would be for elves, and it would almost imply that the thief is an archer and an elf more than a thief, which, I mean, you could be both, certainly. And that might explain the hood even. It would be surprising. Or, I guess not surprising. What was that sound effect all about? I'm not sure which one the purple gas does, so let's see what happens when this guy falls. He gets hurt. Alright. Good to know. So yeah, I guess if they were going to retcon it and the thief was actually going to be a elf of pure of heart and she was stealing the gem for a very good reason, maybe that would explain things. Unfortunately in this game, I feel like if they are going to reveal that as the story, and I guess that would be a reveal more than a retcon. It's not fair to call a reveal in the same game a retcon. It's only a retcon after, if it's done after the fact. Yeah, we're just gonna walk through there and that's it. Unfortunately, it would be the narrator that would explain all of that.
Came so very fast, ushered by the forces of evil. It was only a matter of time before the inevitable would happen. But for now, the forest stood strong against the invaders. Perhaps because the artifacts had been created nearby. There was hope yet.
I have to certainly assume that the reason why we only fight skeletons is because of this game being just kind of smaller scope and smaller budget. Otherwise, you'd think that there would be some kind of unicorns or zombies or gnomes, trolls, orcs. Like we fought one other character as a big boss character, and that's been it. Oh. Okay. So I think we may have figured out the trick to dark levels is to use our flame arrows and potentially hit things. So I wonder if this is a case where the darkness lights up in the entire level. Here we've got some slightly more armored characters that are taking 2 or 3 hits. I wonder if I hit one torch and that was all it needed for the entire level to be lit up. No, I don't think so. I think we are going to be in a scenario where we're going to have to constantly fire flame bows. You see, I'm pressing the X button expecting to swing a sword, and I'm still not hitting the sword. Okay. Certainly does start to reveal the path better. Okay. Get up here, get up here, get up here. Then go ahead and just swing up here and get a treasure. Prism of Light. Alright, so what does the Prism of Light do? At each checkpoint, the character receives 25 health and mana more. Wow, so that's super useful. See if we can use the magnets. Nope, they're still completely useless. Still way easier to take these and do something like that. Okay. These seem to allow me to potentially make a bridge. Come over there. Just knock that guy out of the way while we're at it. There we go. Meanwhile, up here, I think we are already at a point, however, where the actual usefulness of even refilling 25% more mana is already unnecessary, because I think I have collected a different item that refills all of the mana 100% when you hit a checkpoint. Yeah, let's see. Restore mana for this bearer, but only when they're not active. Increase the... Like, honestly, that probably should be over here, because I don't need mana anywhere as much as I thought I would for the mage even. Use health instead of mana. Reduce mana cost when conjuring. Let's see. Apparently I don't have an item that refills the mana completely, so I don't know why it does refill the mana completely. Maybe that's just because I'm playing the game on an easier difficulty, which at a certain level I don't know if things don't become very easy anyways. If you are going to potentially be able to play a new game plus and have all of these items anyways. Alright, so now a devastating secondary attack, blessed by the god of thunder, can break almost anything, be it iron, wood, or bones. All storm effects require mana. Weak enemies will die instantly. Alright, well, we'll go ahead and upgrade that. I feel like we may have missed the third point for the wizard, but probably not. So now we have this weapon. Hold for secondary attack. Well, that's an attack. Certainly. But it's not as fast as this attack. And this guy doesn't have a secondary attack, really. It just seems like it does when you hold down the X button. It seems like he would have like a backswing, but it doesn't actually do anything. Interesting. So now no longer do we have to find something to smash these kinds of walls with. We can just immediately smash them. Whereas before, we would have had to use this or something like this to smash things with. And you've got to really hit those torches. You can't grab the pieces of the bridge, but you can smash this. Get up there. And you just have to play this in the dark. There's nothing to see. Nothing to line up. It's interesting that you fall and there's no falling sound effect. That seems fairly lackluster. And I can just stand, and this happens far too often where you're just standing right where you would get a refill of mana, so you can just fire arrow any and everyone. Alright. Let's see, we can shoot that to swing the fist to break that. But we didn't really need that either. Alright. We've got a grappling hook challenge here. Can we get up here? Yes. Can we get over there? Not so easily. Of course, I guess I could just do this too. And then we'll just throw that out of the way. Select it. It probably would have been nicer if they had locked down a lot of these orbs, so you have to actually reach the location. And I guess if there was some way you were at this point where you hadn't upgraded the number of boxes you could have on screen, you might have been out of luck at that point. Alright, let's see how this hammer works. It's a slow attack, for sure. So I don't think would want to use it too often in your average fight. You keep hearing spider sound effects or something. Yep, it's a spider over there making sound effects. Okay. Let's see. Where does that swing to? Well, seemingly nothing. Let me test a thing around this A. Would this not break the wooden bridge? No, but it did lower another platform. Which I'm surprised it even did that much. Well, that was one dead character, but otherwise that was fine. I'm a little surprised that it's so easy to randomly die for a game that has hardcore mode, because I definitely would not be able to play that. I would just die at some point and then have to. I assume hardcore mode probably doesn't go as crazy as making you start all the way from the first level, and is more just you have to restart each level if you die. But even doing each level without dying is asking a lot. Yeah, I think that's asking probably too much, in fact, to say that I'd be able to do these 12 or 16 levels without dying at least once. There's going to be at least 3 or 4 places where a accidental landing would end up killing me. Alright. Hold down this. We now have a health vial. We have 3 points, which... Do I want to be able to conjure 4 planks at a time? Yes, I do, because that's proven to be very useful. Alright, the health vial, I feel like was this vial and it's just been upgraded. Let's see. No, it probably, we never had a health vial before. Now we do. Automatically restore 25% of lost health for the character. When their health drops below 25%, it can only be used once and is reloaded when a checkpoint is reached. which means less than it would seem like it means. Because I think that means it can be used once in between each time you've run to a checkpoint, which isn't difficult at all. That was just a big lake of poisonous gas. Let's try this. Nope. Big old spike ball. I guess the idea would have been to take it like this way and then shoot it that way. Let's see, we have like 1 energy experience here. And I feel like we'll have 1 more experience if we can find it. Or we just missed it somewhere. And so we don't really have the excuse anymore to like we really don't have an excuse here to say it was a dark level and that's the reason why I missed a collectible. There was clearly just something somewhere I missed. And frankly, we're just so close to the end. It's not worth the time and effort to try and find that 1 collectible. We're just gonna have to figure out when we do the other levels to find the thing we missed, whether we are also going to have to
Finally, the darkness subsided, and our heroes were relieved to find themselves.
See, this is weird because it's been like 40 minutes, and I don't know if I've done 2 levels or 1.
She had never been here before, but for reasons beyond explanation, she felt a sense of belonging. The ruins of the perished, as the old king had called them, looked exactly as described in the journal. Beautiful and majestic, despite the centuries gone by. The 3rd artifact could perhaps be found at the highest location of the ruins.
Did we find the other artifact, the 2nd artifact? They sure didn't show it if we did. Maybe this is a case.
I don't think anyone's been here for a while.
Except those nasty bones.
Who would abandon something like this? It's beautiful.
I wonder if it's going to turn out that the thief is actually some kind of reincarnation, or she's been dead and she didn't even realize it. That might explain something. If skeletons are coming back to life, it wouldn't be insane to believe that other people are coming back to life. Ancient heroes or... Let's see. Can this guy smash this? Nope. They're never gonna give you something that completely eliminates an ability. That didn't work as well as I had hoped. And I guess if they don't hit the ground with their hammer attack, it doesn't activate. So is there a reason to go down this way? Nope, not really. The idea of a swinging log that might be able to smash you and hurt you is an idea that's kind of late to the party. I guess we'll just move forward and assume that I'd only done 2 levels. If this is a 3rd level, well then we'll get a little bonus. I wouldn't be surprised if we are starting to just move through levels faster too. We can definitely feel like see that they're struggling for variety here with underwater sections and the like. Same old gears being used, the same old spikes. There's a certain level I think of. I can't break that. There's a certain level when developing a game like this where you might be well suited to like tell the animators to have 2 or 3 different skins for the same thing. So multiple gears, bronze gears, silver gears, copper gears, things like that, so that you could have more variety in your gameplay visuals. But even doing that still really wouldn't work greatly. Let's see, stacks on other health enchantments. I'm gonna go ahead and put him with that ability. Increase damage for 25% for weapons that use mana. Well, that kind of feels like he is the powerhouse weapon attacker. So we should probably give it to him. And then this one also I think would work nicely with him. Maximum number of boxes for the wizard is probably more useful than maximum number of arrows for the basic bow, but we'll stick with that. I guess we're going back underwater. Okay. So am I supposed to hit an arrow to break that? I guess that was the idea. Alright. Or I could have also pulled off some other shenanigans to... Come on, spider. I see way up there some platforms, but they're not wooden platforms. Interesting. So is there some puzzle to this? I don't think so. I think the general idea is just to get here. Fire that way. Go ahead and kill some things. So if we've got a brick here and we put it down on that switch, does that change anything? No. Do we have a way to make a platform that really works well there? Not really. So probably the easiest way to do this is just come over here so you can see it. Take this and just knock it. Right into the character. Right. And then I'm just gonna have to assume that there isn't anything more to collect. And if they're gonna let me knock things, they might as well just let me straight up pick up the items. Anyways. And you might as well. Draw a line, grab it. Grab this. Flatten it kind of against the wall. There we go. I had it flat against the wall. There we go. Yeah. Well, that was ridiculous. Yeah, let's just do this the easier way. Then Then over here, we could have just walked through there, but I guess we're swimming. But swimming wise, is there something more to this? There's no secret or anything over there, so I guess this is straight up just make a platform. Just get the center of gravity somewhat accurate, so it's past the halfway point, and then you can do that, and then drop that there, get that balanced. Draw another cube. Is that high enough? Yes, but I need another cube here. May have to swim all the way around for this to work. Yeah, and I'm not holding it long enough to activate the secondary ability, so ideally we will get an upgrade ability. But see, this is from jumping from a ledge, which that's not even that useful. So, yeah. Many more things. We're only halfway through this level. Just generically shoot in a direction and you'll almost certainly hit something. One more experience. Can I avoid hitting all these platforms? I'm having a hard time. Usually it's pretty easy to get up to the top of that. Okay. We do have something over here though. So we're gonna have to make a platform to check it out. Come on. Super long platform, not falling down and not crushing the guy. It's just not enough room. Probably could move the guy over. Then we'll draw a box there. You know what? The easiest thing probably to do is just once again draw a box. And just knock those over. Yep, one there. One there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to actually reach the area I need to reach now that that platform is there. But I guess I did. This almost feels like Serpent-esque, but Asian-esque also. Right. So do we have this ready to go? I was expecting a bigger enemy, not just a gauntlet. And they're increasingly making it difficult to hit the checkpoints and regain your health. I think the game would become kind of impossible for me personally to play if there were boss fights in a more difficult mode where you didn't have the checkpoints. And I would really probably just criticize the game at that level if there was a game mode or a difficulty setting like that, because that would just feel like it was very unbalanced. Right. We went full circle there. Seemingly there's nothing to collect. It's a lot of little small things. Looks like you can move around. More and more I'm totally just relying on knocking things over. Like, I don't even know specifically in that case how you were supposed to unlock that. Well, I guess maybe the idea is that these are glowing orbs of energy, not jars. So sometimes it clearly is an idea that they want you to knock them over, and that is like the valid solution to the puzzle. Alright, well, here we go. And no sound effect when you fall. Hit this wall just to make sure. I think I messed this up somewhat, but I don't think it matters. All you've got to do is make those little jumps, and you're fine. And those would have been, I guess, urns of experience. And that used up all my mana doing flame arrow, but it still was safer by any means. Right. Then the music goes kind of quiet. Interesting. All these old floating platforms can be broken quite easily. So I don't get the point there, though. Like, these don't free themselves easily. But something down there broke. Let's see what that was. Something happened. It broke those free. Once again, to no real good use. I need to basically take this, put it over there. Take this, put it over there. Yeah, these definitely feel like concepts that they wanted to explore a lot more with the physics, but they're only really touching on the beginnings of that as an idea, and they really didn't make a full game around that idea. And I can't think of too many physics games that work great on that idea anyways. Like there's, here we can already see there's a big boss fight. Well, did I just knock him into the spikes? Yep, he's dead. Alright. Well, I need her. I think. I don't think there's any other way to break that. Well, we could try just knocking it over. Gotta jump forward and back. This definitely felt like this was a wizard path. That this whole level was totally built around the idea of playing and using the wizard's abilities. How many things do we have to collect still? 3 skeletons, 1 collectible, and 7 XP bottles. So either that was a sub-boss or we missed a decent amount of stuff. Which I'd be willing to believe a little bit of both there. Apparently we have something that can upgrade. What could upgrade though? It's not like costs are getting cheaper. Nothing. So sometimes it just prompts you even when it's wrong. Alright, well. There's one more. And then this one's a floating orb. So we know we cannot just knock it over. Probably have been a decent amount of floating orbs around, and I've just not even noticed it because it's been such a non-issue. Right. So there's like 3 floating orbs that we're missing. Let's see if maybe there's one secretly down this way. Nope. Yeah, I'm not seeing any. So I imagine it's either further or either I missed them or it's further away, which is probably further away. Taking 3 shots to kill him with the flame arrows. Drop. That was a terrible job. Knocking it to just another platform. How many left? 2. I really can't feel like that there are too many more boss battles or sub-boss battles that are going to happen, because it feels like the whole game is at best working up to one big boss battle, and that's it. Let's do this. So, yeah. They want me to get up there. And again, I think the easiest way to do it is just something like that. It didn't work. If anything, that made that worse. Alright, well. So we'll take this box and put it here. See if we can maybe move the boxes I'm stuck. I guess we now know why breaking boxes is an ability of the other characters. It is so if you get stuck. Alright. Put a little box there. I guess we'll try to see if we can get a big box to balance too. Alright. And it's like 12 things I think that they wanted stacked for that achievement. Right, so did I get everything? Yes, everything except for the treasure that's back here too. I can barely even see. Red Master Stone, which we had a blue Master Stone before, and it's not the Enchanted Death Crystal. Where is it? Increases the effect of each collected health potion, dropped by 5%. This is the blue Master Stone. Here we go. Increase the number of planks by wizard by 1. Or increase the maximum health of the knight by 10%. Which, inherently, I guess if you want the achievement for the 12 items, you need both Master Stones, so you can increase the number of boxes and planks that the wizard can make, and that does make a decent amount of sense. And we could give back that item as we're still moving things around. We could also probably put this item and this item here. Move things around still. We apparently have 8 collectibles left. By the looks of it. Right, so we need to get now up over there. So I guess the question is, how can we effectively accomplish that without messing up terribly? Just do it that way, I guess. And that definitely feels like a point where you could hit a level of frustration if you could not pull that off. We did get everything on this level, thank goodness. Then either there's a boss fight or there's just another treasure.
Empty. It's not here.
Just a guardian at rest.
Wait. Can you hear that?
Could the guardian...
Light brighter than the sun blinded our heroes. Pictures of what had happened flashed before their eyes.
So we're going to get an in-game cutscene, which this would be the first in-game cutscene if that was the case.
Too long ago, an earthquake had rocked the pedestal, destroying the shrine that surrounded the artifact of body and matter. The charms that had protected the third artifact broke, and it was stolen. Even worse, it was paired with the artifact of mind and power. Without the artifact of soul and righteousness, the power of the artifacts became twisted and brought to life creatures of bones and dust, capable of moving, but lacking soul and meaning.
So somebody stole the other 2 artifacts.
Was the only thing that could bring back balance to the world.
And created the skeletons. Alright.
All this jumping around, it's not for grown men. I wish I could rest.
It definitely goes to show how these levels were intentionally kept fairly separate and designed in such a way that you are not supposed to actually have much of a connective tissue between each level so that they could move the levels around. Right, let's go ahead and save. I know we've done at least 2 levels now, and that is an hour and 10 minutes. So we are now, let's move faster than that, in the Heartland Mines, and there's 4 more levels after that. We are still doing fairly well in that we only have 3 levels that we'd have to go back and try and get all the collectibles from, and then it would just certainly be a question about, like, could you beat each of these levels in a new game plus with a different difficulty, and would it really be worth your effort? I don't know if it really is worth the effort. I kind of wish the achievements were listed directly directly on this main menu also, because there's a possibility that I may have gotten some of the crazier achievements already done, and if I went back to the achievements and said, well, oh, the only thing here that I haven't done is beat the game on the most difficulty setting, I could see myself thinking about playing the game a second time on the hardest difficulty setting. Although, frankly, I don't think I'd want to add that to this YouTube series either, because that would be very redundant, and there's just not enough excitement here to justify that. Even when I've gone back and played games that I've really liked, like Portal, I tend not to play them back to back, although I guess that's a bad example since Portal doesn't have any difficulty settings. I feel like physics wise there probably are some similarities between Portal and this game, with this game not looking anywhere as good because it's not a 3D first person game with a lot of platforming and jumping and gravity flinging happening, but there are different abilities certainly in this game, more abilities than I would say you have in Portal, where you really can in Portal only make a portal in one place and another place and pick up a few items. But I think that's mostly an unfair comparison because they are very different otherwise. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.